Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I'm your keeper, Keeper Michael. We return to Mask of Nyarlathotep, beginning our Kenya finale series. And so, as I like to do at the top of the show, I'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. If you've not had a chance to check out what we offer on Patreon, you can at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. Check us out over on YouTube as well. We're preparing a fantastic prize when we meet our 1,000 subscriber goal. And if we've not met it by now, you can still jump in and potentially win it. Details on that to come. And now we'll get to investigator introductions to my right.
This is Tiffany, and I play Maeve O'Shea, and I forgot where we parked the car again. I know we're traveling to the mountain. Oh, we just left the village. Right, with the people.
Yeah.
The sacrifices.
Well, I mean, that's one way to call it. Sure.
I'm not getting close to them. I don't want to feel too bad. I already do.
You should. To Maeve's right.
This is Morgan. I play Lillian Lane, and we call them volunteers, not sacrifices.
That's very corporate of you. At the end of the table.
This is Jake. I'm playing Jack Doyle, and the end is nigh for several of us, I'm sure. Mostly the sacrifices, but no.
I see how you all are. To Jake's right.
This is Lonnie, and I play Robert Drummond, and I just want to say good luck. We're all counting on you.
That's exactly how I feel, Robert. To Mr. Drummond's right.
Hi, this is James, and I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund Tattenbach, and I don't know what you are all talking about. We are simply going on a nice journey up a mountain. Mountaineering, but it's not like to talk about that.
Yes, a pleasant cruise through eel-infested waters. And last but most certainly not least.
This is Alex playing Sam Pilon, and I remember a story about Jack and Jill. I'm not sure how it ended, but somebody broke something.
Yep, absolutely. And so, before we raise the curtain, we're going to do something for the final time with our Masks crew. And that is, we're going to do investigator improvement. And so what we'll do is spin right around back to Tiffany, who plays Maeve O'Shea, and we will ask her to go through the skills that she has ticked boxes for, and we'll see if we can improve some skills.
There aren't very many, but it's all right. So this is for singing. I got 64 out of 76.
Okay. So that's a pass, which means you don't gain anything.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Forgot we want to fail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Climb is my next one.
Could be very useful.
Damn it. What the hell? It's so low. I got an 18 out of 20. What the shit?
Okay.
Wrong dice. Drive auto. Not that I think. Fuck. That's a 3 out of 20. Like, what the shit?
You're blowing all those good rolls now.
I know. Fighting brawl. That's a 29 out of 58. Jesus Christ. That means bad rolls here on out. Listen. Oh, there we go. 79 out of 20.
Okay. 79 out of 20, and you can add 9 points to listen.
All right. Listen. Well, that's a 29. Occult. I'm not going to fail this one. Nope. That's an 8 out of 92. And spot hidden. 82 out of 75.
Okay. Spot hidden goes up by 6 points.
Okay. That's all I got.
Very well. While we are here, we will also have you roll luck.
That is a 54 out of 89.
Okay. So single D10. You get 7 points of luck.
That maxes me out. Yeah, right?
Luck doesn't max until 99.
Well, I thought, but you only got max.
You're thinking about sand.
Oh, okay. I just thought I had it circled because it was okay.
Yeah, if sand loss also affected your total luck score, that would be just a rough one.
Right?
Luckily, it doesn't do that. Okay, very good. You are all set then, and I will move to Lillian Lane as played by Morgan.
What about sand? Do we get more sand?
No.
Come on.
No.
Some of us could use it. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Morgan.
All right. The first one I have is firearms.
Which kind?
I'm sorry. Rifle shotgun. Sorry. And that is a 25 out of 71.
Okay.
So I get nothing.
Nada.
The next one I have is spot hidden. I get an 83 out of 88. So I get nothing.
Nope.
The next one I have is throw. Are you kidding me? I got a 22 out of 20.
Oh, so that goes up.
So that gives me something.
It does. It does. You get 9 more points of throw.
Awesome.
Throw is a critical Call of Cthulhu skill.
So is climb.
I might need that.
Might be the best throw in the group.
And then psychometry, I've got 85 out of 57.
Okay, so psychometry goes up by 9 points.
And then for luck, 54 out of 54.
Oh, okay. So that is technically a success, which means you will get a single D10. And that is 9 points.
Just 9s all across the board. All right. Thanks.
Makes sense. At the end of the table, Jack is played by Jake.
Okay, my climb. 14 under 47. It's going to be one of these nights, huh? For all of us.
Cold World.
Fast talk. 59 under 71. Fighting brawl. 20 under 75.
It's because it's our last improvement.
Right, yeah. Firearms handgun. 48 under 84. Let's see. Intimidate. 7 under 78. Library use, 71 under 75. Listen. Hey, 52 over 47.
Hey, all right. So listen goes up by a big 10.
Ooh. Okay, and locksmith. 20 under 74. And finally, psychology. 91 over 65.
Okay, that definitely goes up. You may have 7 more points of psychology.
Excellent. And I'm not even going to bother rolling because I'm already maxed out on my luck.
Yep. No luck for you. No soup for you either. All right.
Oh.
So, Robert Drummond, as played by Lonnie.
All right. Well, we start with fast talk. And that's a 25 under 65. So library use is a 28 under 70. Occult is 15 under 45. All the hard successes. Persuade, 37 under 60. Psychology, 82 over 40.
Oh. You may take 10 more points to psychology.
Woohoo! I can understand the shit I'm in now.
Yeah, you wish you didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways. Spot hidden. Oh, 74 over 65.
Oh, hey, there you go. There you go. Oh, that's 9 more points.
Oh.
I'm rolling very fortuitous for all of you. Maybe
All
that's
right.
why
Maybe.
you're not.
Stealth 27 under 70. Unlike almost every time I try to roll it in game. Let's see. And firearms, handgun. 2 under 52.
Wow. Okay, Robert, what is your current luck score?
My current luck score is 41, and I will roll on that. Hold on a moment. Maybe I will. 33 under 41, a success.
Okay. So you may take 10 more points of luck.
Woohoo!
Very good. Now we'll move to Dr. Tottenbach, as played by James.
Hello. All right. So I don't have that many, so this thankfully shouldn't take very long for me to successfully roll all of them. First one is an 83 over 26 for my drive auto.
Oh, yeah. Stealing cars on every continent.
Hell yeah.
5 more points of drive for the doctor.
Very nice. All right. So the next one is medicine. 51 under 91. No surprise there. Spot hidden. 40 under 80. No surprise. And biology. 22 under 82. That's a hard success. So I, in fact, forget a few things. And as for luck, I'm actually maxed out at 99. So a luck roll does not do me much good.
Nope, sure doesn't. We'll just pass on it. All right. Last but certainly not least, Sam is played by Alex.
I would like an opportunity to snort everybody's luck that they had left over. Just right off
I don't think that's
right off the
it's
table.
a system thing I can do.
Okay, no lines of luck. So climb. That is a 5 under 82. Awesome. Love it. You love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Disguise is a 17 under 89. Dodge is an 82 over 79.
Ooh.
That one will actually come in handy.
6 more points.
Nice.
Because I don't see us driving in the mountain. I'm just saying.
The doctor will find the car. Okay.
Right. I found one. Actually, I used my pulp ability
No.
to find a car.
No, doctor, it's a handheld item. You can't find a car with it.
I found the keys with the car. Must be around here somewhere.
Jump is a 4 out of 77. So thank you, Jump. Liston is a 72 out of 63. So I get some listen.
Nope. Get some listen. That is 6 more points of listen.
Which brings me to 69.
Nice.
Nice.
Noise.
Locksmith is a 1 under 69.
Noise.
That's just what my locksmith is now. It's just locked in.
right.
Occult. What's that do? 44 over 38.
Hey. And that is 9 more points of occult, which puts you over 50, which means you're technically a professional occultist.
That puts me, you said 9. It's supposed to be 47.
Oh, so close.
So close. Persuade. 97 over 10.
You get some persuade. You get 1 point of persuade.
Nice. That's okay. Sleight of hand. Sleight of hand is a 22 under 67. Spot hidden. It's an 87 over 85.
Ooh, 87 over 85. That is an interesting ballpark to be in, sir.
Is it? What's it got me?
It is, because you are going to go over 90 points in a skill.
Nice.
So I'm going to give you 9 points to that skill, which should raise it to what, 94?
94.
Okay, which means that you have gained some sense of mastery of self through that skill, which means I'm going to roll 2d6 and give you that insanity.
Bullshit. I need it.
Trade you for some luck.
Oh, there's a Mave toll. I forgot about that. So Sam can take 10 points of sanity.
Nice.
I will gladly trade that in luck.
Well, yeah, because you're going to get luck back way more regularly.
That's a 7 under 95 for stealth.
Okay.
78 over 26 for throw.
78. Over
Throw.
26. 3 points a throw.
29. All right, track. Track is an 87 over 76.
Okay. So a little bit more track. That is 10 more points of track.
We like the tracking. Acting.
How come there isn't a spell to get sand back?
If you
There is.
if you ask yourself that question again, I have one. You just
Sam
can't
has it.
use it because you picked the wrong
Right.
god.
Well, you could use it for me, right?
No, you have to actually like pray to the god yourself. That's a 3 out of 77 for my acting.
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 It's going to be held at it.
Yeah, but after our powwow, I should be able to ask for it.
32 under 88 for my brawl.
3288, yeah. So there's a difference between effectively a truce and an agreement. There's two different things.
If we make it through this alive, we don't have to be sane. If we make it through this alive, maybe we'll figure something out. Damn. 73 under 74 for rifle shotgun.
It's so close.
That is it. That is the money. Oh, luck.
Luck. You want luck, don't you?
This is 16 over 4.
That's a failure, so I'll roll 2d6 for you. Well, that's not bad. So that's 17 points of luck.
Nice.
What are you at now?
21. I have 21 points of luck. And even if it was 30, it wouldn't matter because there's no turning back. It's a one-way trip.
Okay. So we're going to raise the curtain tonight on the side of a mountain. A group of travelers, investigators, and their willing participants. I think that's really the best way to put it. They had built a tent up for them to get some rest. Some watches had been set, and they had settled in for a nice, well, as nice as rest can be, knowing what you're going towards. The next day, you continue your path forward with your guide. The guide does his best to properly prepare you for a lot of the mountaineering portions that are coming. He really gives everybody a little tutelage for 5 or 10 minutes about how to keep pace and how to wear shoes, how to, change your laces, stuff like that. Stuff that will make sense the more and more you put one foot in front of the other. Up the mountainside is an arduous task. It does plateau eventually about midday, and you work your way through basically a bleak landscape. The forest here has thinned, and the grass has taken hold. But closer to the mountain itself, you see that there is a forest that begins again, a different one. And the leaves here have turned almost the shade of like a blue nightshade color. Dark, foreboding. The trees have grown at odd angles with knobby ends, and some have curled over onto themselves. The grass here is a different sort of green. It's not emerald by any means, not anymore. It even has a darker tone to it. The tips of the grass are blue or black. Not from any sort of rot, but just the discoloration that exists. The sound of birds and insect diminish the closer you get. And you all can tell that the people you're traveling with they're not handling it very well. They ask a lot of questions in Swahili to you, Sam. They want to know if the land is poisoned. They want to know if they're going to be okay. The hunters who are with you are doing their best to stay on top of anything that might be popping up. So you're getting a lot of cyclical reports about things out in the field, things that don't look right. You're not hearing about people. So they haven't encountered any cultists. Although the grass here does seem like people have walked this way reasonably recently, there's nothing here that shows any sign of encampments, though. Just above this plain area, ash and cinders of the mountain have washed away, and they've exposed a sheer rock face. And Jack, with your pretty keen eyes and your field glasses, you can see that there does seem to be a pathway up this portion of the mountain. There is something for you to go through. This might be where the Bloody Tongues cultists traveled through.
Well, obviously that'd probably be the best way of going. However, we're going to have to look out for ambushes.
What about the pack animals? Is the path wide enough for them?
It's probably wide enough for the pack animals, but you're not sure how they'll deal with the elevation changes. It'll be pretty slow going. And even so, the people you brought with you are going to have to go at widest 2x2, maybe 3 wide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a task for them to get up the side of this pathway too.
So they're carrying their own belongings, right?
Certainly.
Okay.
And they're packed pretty light for the most part.
Look, I know that you have a personal interest in what we stand to find in there. What I need to know is from where we are to where we're going. Is the path clear, or do you even know where we're going now?
He takes a pretty deep breath in, and he says to you, I've never been here. The village would never send us this way. We were always told to avoid the mountain at all possible costs because of the dangers that exist.
Based on the head count and the numbers that we're expecting to need for the ritual, do I believe that we could spare one?
That's hard to say. It's something that you're going to need probably to discuss the math of it.
Okay.
With the person who's going to run the ritual.
Okay. Then while we're taking like a breather at the bottom of the mountain, I will take Kwame over to Maeve.
Kwame comes with you.
Maybe with me. So, if we're going to keep traveling up this mountain, there's going to be a really good chance that, one, some of us aren't going to make it down, and two, that whatever ritual we have to do up there might require more or less than what we have. I'm considering asking Kwame to stay here with the pack animals so that we have a place to send survivors home, should we find any. Or someone to, I don't know, report our failure before the world ends. What are your thoughts?
If he's comfortable staying here for however long it's going to take, because the ritual itself is going to take an entire day, plus however long it's going to take us to get through this mountain. And The people that are coming with us, I don't know if we can really afford to lose very many of them in a fight, if we're going in the mountain, or if we're just sealing it from the outside and we're going to fight whatever comes our way while we're doing it. I guess it's something that we should have kind of talked about. But we also don't know what to expect once we get up there, so I guess it's hard to say.
So all unknowns being unknown, what I'm asking you, is it too much to spare Kwame this particular part of the journey? Because I don't know that we're going to get those animals up that mountain.
Yeah. Yeah, something's got to be done with the animals because we can't just, like, let them, like, be. That's unfair to them. Does he have somewhere to, like, hide them, too? Because if the Byaki are out here, they're going to find them and they're going to eat them.
So you're saying it's a death sentence for them either way?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's a high probability. I mean, we saw them not too far, 2 days ago, was it? Or was it a day ago?
So whom?
The Byaki. When we saw them flying in the sky.
I have my suspicions that they're going to be way more concerned with us.
Yeah, but they were feeding and ignored us before.
We weren't anywhere near the mountain then.
Maybe you're right. He can stay here with the animals, but if it gets too dicey for him, he can run up the mountain and meet up with us.
I'll look to Kwame. What are your thoughts?
It seems unfair to ask me to wait with the animals while my fellow tribesmen go to their duty.
I'm not taking that from you. So I'm saying that there is a duty that has to be performed, if not by you, then someone should do it.
Yes. Genova will. He is a good boy.
Okay.
He can stay with the pack animals and I will happily take his place. He has a long life ahead of him. He sort of stiffens up and looks to the both of you and said, we should make a decision and begin to move. The longer we stay still, the larger of a target we are.
I'll abide your decision. Let them know what the terms are and we'll unload the animals the best we can. We'll take what we need.
Yeah, you do so. He doesn't introduce you to the boy, but it is one of the younger kids that you've seen moving around the group. He seems pretty full of energy, bright, and eager to help out where he can, eager to prove himself. And you see Kwame have a very short and private conversation with him, and the youth is nothing but nodding in agreement. And Kwame gives him a spear, which isn't something he would have necessarily just yet, and instructs the boy seemingly about caring for the animals. He sets the lad with food and a water skin, and as you make your way closer to where you're going, they find an area to cordon off a spot for the animals to be under cover. And that is the extent of the conversation that you're aware of.
I'll leave it to Kwame to handle the boy, but I will also make sure he's left with my bedroll.
Mm-hmm.
And at least one flare.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. You leave him with a bedroll and a flare. The rest of the journey towards this direction, and the direction of the mountain, is going to require a spot hidden roll. So I will ask our investigators to do that.
17 out of 81.
10 out of 88.
42 out of 99.
9 out of 74.
54 out of 80.
A 25 out of 94.
Okay. Everyone passes. Some of you have hard successes. Some of you have really, really extreme successes. It does not take the group long, with their keen vision, to determine where the an entrance might be. It looks like there is a ledge that begins to rise on this mountain. And the entrance is covered with all sorts of plant matter and vines, and it looks like some of the shrubbery has grown around the entrance. You're not sure how the cultists would have gotten through here, because this looks like it completely shrouds the entrance. But you are fairly certain of one thing. It is getting closer to dusk, and you're going to have to find either cover or you're going to have to find a way in. I leave that choice to you.
Hey, Jack, we don't have a whole lot of wiggle room here for breath to walk, so I'm going to ask you where you want me.
I want you covering the rear.
Okay. But if you're going to stay up front and you're going to keep your eyes peeled, I would highly recommend keeping that fly swatter handy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will trot my happy ass to the back of the line.
Okay. So I do not need a marching order by any means, but getting an idea of who's in front and who's in back is critical. After that adjustment is done, I'll need to know what the group is going to do. Are you going to find a place to hunker down outside the entrance, or are you going to attempt to find a way in?
Could we be able to tell real fast, just real quickly, if people have actually traveled through there, like vegetation bent or pushed over?
Yeah, it's sort of what the spot hidden roll is for. It does look like someone passed through here at some point, but the vegetation has grown around it.
So this was a while ago.
Either that, or perhaps another method may have been used to conceal the entrance.
We should go in.
Yeah, I agree.
Because then at least we only have to fight two sides versus all around us.
I concur with Miss Lane. I do not like being caught out in the open.
Yeah, Biaki won't fit in the tunnel, hopefully.
How big is that entrance?
Definitely not big enough for a Biaki.
Okay.
That's okay. There's plenty of smaller creatures of the abyss to come murder us. It's fine. Giant puddles of mouths could fit through there for sure.
Well, that's why I was asking, like, okay, so are we clearing out the... Okay, because here's the thing, is if we do this ritual, if we start it, once it is complete, it drains any servitors, anybody that works for older gods, younger gods, up to a 10-mile radius and anywhere that the eye can see. So that would help with the fight, would also lock them in, and then we just have to fight the cultists. They'll probably come pouring out once they figure out what's going on, or we can go in and fight the big bad with no help at all.
Is there a place where we have to do the ritual?
Preferably you want it over the entrance. I mean, if we can get up higher on the mountain, yeah, that would be better. But if that means going in and risking losing some of the people and the essence that we need to make the sign, that makes me nervous. How high up are we?
Oh, at this point, you are probably... That plateau is probably a couple... Probably at least 1,000 meters. But the Mount Satima, and which out of character is what the Black Mountain's based off of, it's 4,000 feet tall.
Okay.
So you're probably a fourth of the way up, give or take, by the time you reach this point. Maybe a little more. That you can tell that the air has definitely thinned.
Do I see if there's a way to keep going up or no?
You look up, and curiously enough, what you see maybe 200 or 300 feet up in the air, you see that there's a outcropping, what looks like maybe a ledge. You can't really see what's on top of that ledge, but maybe it's an option to free climb. but you're talking about something that is a little bit more complex.
Right.
A team of investigators is one thing,
Right.
but scores of people?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Be a challenge.
Yeah. Otherwise, we can go in and hope that we can get higher and hope that they haven't burrowed down into the mountain.
I'd like, at this point, a group luck roll. So the person with the lowest luck
That's Alex.
will roll luck.
Okay. That's a 36 over 21.
I am going to spend a hand of fate for you. And I'm going to make that a success.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Do we want that? We want that success, right?
We'll find out.
I love it. Thank you.
Okay. So, that said,
Say we push on, and if we have to stop, we will do everything we can to defend these people. That includes wards, spells, rituals, guns, knives, blood. We do it.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, not that they can't defend themselves, but there are things that we're up against that, they may not be capable of fighting.
Let's just hope none of them try to kill us when they see it.
Doc is also keeping an eye on his compatriots, not just about their mental state, but also their physical state, as we are now 11,000 feet above sea level, and not a single one of these people is mountaineers.
No, that's very true.
And so he is watching for the telltale signs of, climbing sickness.
That's a great question. Why don't you make a very quick medicine roll for me? Not to repair any damages, obviously, but to perceive that.
You know what? I will spend first time I've ever had to do this, I will spend 5 luck to make that a success.
Ooh, okay.
I rolled a 94 above the 91. Yeah, Doc's hard to diagnose when he himself is dealing with hyperoxidation.
Certainly. Yeah, you're a little concerned that the group is probably exerting themselves a little too much. And it might be useful to essentially get a plan and maybe find a place to eventually hunker down.
Keeping an eye on that then when the question comes as to, whether we should press on or hunker down. Doc will voice up, I think for our physical health, we may wish to rest for a little while. Not if one of our lungs are ready for this. It would not do us in the fight against evil to pop like a balloon.
Well, I always believe in listening to my doctor, so.
Doc offers Jack a flask.
Yep, exactly. He knows exactly what the medicine I need.
Are we able to get cover first?
So getting cover, if you're going to attempt to get cover, the thing that you need to do is make your way past this foliage.
Oh, I didn't realize it was foliage. There's foliage blocking the entrance, is that what you said?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now I understand what's happening. Well, that looks dangerous. Okay. Who wants to burn it with fire?
Well, luckily I have a machete with me, so.
That is good, because I'm not entirely certain how effective fire would be at this altitude.
Chemical fires burn.
Lillian also has her boot knife.
I have my curved blade with me.
Clearing the way the vegetation is not difficult, provided someone says that they're going to do it.
Yeah, I'll handle it.
Okay.
And provided the plants don't try to eat us.
Yeah, the plants don't try to eat you at all. Although, Jack, when you do hack them apart, the sap that comes out of them is not right. It's gelatinous.
I'll try to avoid that.
It's a little goopy. It's dark. It's not as... It's a little bit more runny than sap. But you do cut your way in and are able to get into this tunnel that sort of goes up. You can see now as you move around the mountain in this spiral form, you see that you're essentially heading to that ledge, that outcropping that you saw, Maeve. For those of you who might be sticking towards the back of the group, you're noticing that your villagers are a little concerned about this. Several of them are becoming a little emotionally unwound. You're getting some pushback a little bit on the continued portion of climbing. You can tell some of them are just physically uncomfortable. Everything here is alien too. That's the big thing to remember, right? So nothing smells right. The sky looks strange. And you're continuing to increase your elevation, something, Doctor, that you're very concerned about. You continue to go up.
I will approach the ones nearest to me at the rear, maybe the youngest, and I will offer my hand to them. Yeah.
So what I'd like, for those of you who are willing to assist in helping people overcome their fears, this is a psychology roll. And so those of you with psychology can roll to attempt to soothe the people who are here.
I'll help with that.
I don't have much, but I'll try.
What I would like to do is I am going to ask the child with me to repeat the words that I say. But before I do so, I'm going to ask them if they've ever harmed a cat.
No, they don't harm animals. That's what they tell you.
Okay. Then I will ask them to repeat after me. As I instruct them, I walk them through the blessing of Bast.
Okay. You need to alleviate all their fears. It's a reasonable move. Doctor?
Doc actually gathers a group of the, a smaller, 2 or 3 of them together, and he rolled a 1 under 86 on his psychology.
So take 5 points of luck.
I will gladly refill my luck, sir. And Doc essentially just starts telling them jokes in the broken English that he knows, and just in a traditional, in a very Doc way, he acts the fool a little bit, to kind of cause the, crack a smile, get them to not loosen up, but laughter is, Doc knows, the best medicine.
Undoubtedly. So you are rapidly becoming their vaudevillian target. It's almost a little unbelievable how much attention you can potentially draw from them. It does take their mind off of the walking. You almost get concerned, Jack, that maybe the doctor's being a little too loud. Like there's no stealth going on here because he's in a complete production back there.
Well, I guess it's better than having a bunch of people freaking out on the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Beggars can't be choosers in this regard.
The one who is the most unsettled, like the one who I feel might break, that's the one that I will lend an earthly sign to.
Okay. Yeah, certainly it calms them. It helps soothe them and put them at ease. It makes them a little bit more resolute. The journey continues up and up and up. You eventually reach the plateau, that cliffside, and you can now look down naturally to your left and see the forest below you, hundreds of feet, and then the plateau, and then the valley which exists here. A rolling green meadow of wonder. Unfortunately, you're on the dirty black spike in the middle of it. But you see readily here from this space, there is a 2 meter wide, perhaps, natural cave opening to your right that seems to head into the mountain. The path here is well trod.
Well, I guess in we go. I think that's where we want to hunker down, is right inside the cave entrance, right?
I find a place to set up a nice perch for myself just outside the entrance.
Okay. Just being in this spot, I would say for both you, Miss O'Shea, and for you, Sam, the smell from inside this cave is not welcoming. Like the sheer amount of copper in your nostrils is a little foreboding. Jack, this smells a lot like France during the war.
Sounds like a lot of blood and suffering.
But you are able to get your villagers here inside a small, maybe 8-meter space, sort of that leads inside the tunnel. And you can put up, a perch outside of it. That's easy enough. Lillian, what are you doing?
I light a lantern that we had brought with us and go into the cave as well to look around. And because I'm assuming it's dark in there, so need a little bit of light.
It is dark. Yep.
Is there any place in the cave to make a fire? Like, is there just right on the dirt floor?
This isn't dirt. It'll be rock. So that is something to sort of think about here. All of the surfaces are very hard. So there's not a ton of dirt. You could probably find a place reasonably inside of it. But the light that you have that gets shed over this tunnel space reveals an awful lot of cave paintings here. They are not welcoming in any way. They depict ancient pictograms, images. In some ways, they remind you of the tunnels in Egypt, except far more, just not as refined, very primal. They depict what looks like something coming down from the sky and enveloping beings below it, rudimentary images of man, and these tendrils that come out of this creature, and you continue to see them. Now, without your lantern light, you'd have never known that they were there. It doesn't bring your villagers any reassurance, though, because they see it, because they're all over the walls. And when I mean all over, I mean floor to ceiling in here. And there's no pattern by any means. Everything here is written in a endless scroll of paint and other material.
Wonderful.
I would like to take out my small camera and take some photos of these.
Certainly. I'm sure it'll be wonderful evidence.
Yeah, I look over at him while he's doing that. For the family photo album back home.
Sure.
You stare back into the camera, Lily, and Robert, your picture gets 5 times better. Even amongst all of the awful things going on, the smiling face of Lillian Lane, like, here, look, I found the crazy people place. It's endearing. It's heartwarming if it wasn't just complete and utter horrific.
I'll make sure she's included in at least one photo.
Okay. Is anybody else going any deeper into the cavern, or are you all staying glommed up right by the entrance, just trying to figure out what people are doing? I know that Sam is on a perch outside, being very vigilant.
I think we should all stay by the entrance right now so we can get some rest. Because if we wander around too far, we're going to run into things we don't want to run into, and then we won't get any rest.
At this altitude, we should actually rest for at least one night before we go any further. Otherwise, it could be physically not great for us.
How much time do we have left?
Yeah, when's the full moon?
It's coming. You think you have 24 hours. You think tomorrow night is the full moon.
Okay. As long as we can get the ritual started by tomorrow night.
Which is what you're concerned about.
Yeah.
Because the ritual is supposed to start at dusk.
Right.
Which is roughly pretty soon. And if you start the ritual at dusk and their ritual goes faster, you're not in a good space.
Mm-hmm. So then, yeah, shit.
So what I'm hearing is we should start it now.
Yeah, we'll have to start it on this ledge.
Okay, well, let's just take a brief break and then we'll do what we need to do.
Well, how long do we have till dusk?
Just by looking at it, you can see the sun is beginning to set. You're going to need space to have this ritual at. You're not certain the ledge will provide that. And the corridor might work, but the problem is that everybody's going to be bunched up against one another. That's not great either. That's part of the problem with mystical rituals, is that you do need a little bit of space.
Well, we'll just have to do that with the ledge and use part of the entrance. We'll have to do what we need to do.
Okay.
Well, I have to start carving into the surface, so I'm going to need this rock either above the entrance or down on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're going to be outside and inside, then I'll probably have to do it on the floor of the entrance.
Okay.
But then that disrupts the sight of the eye, so it's going to have to be above. It's just going to have to be. I'm just going to have to make it work. I'm going to have to hang from the top
Hang from which top?
of the entrance.
Okay.
Well, or perch, I'll have Sam show me a good perch so that I can start carving and putting blood in it from everybody and all of that.
Are you sure this is better than whatever we might find inside?
Perhaps one or two of us could go take a look and see if there's a better place up ahead.
Well, you can, but here's the thing, is if we do it outside, is it also covers as far as the eye can see.
Okay.
Which is why you want it up as high as possible. And that's why when the Carlisle expedition originally broke it down, which I can't believe that they knew somebody to break this in the first place, or they made the deal with. It was above that entranceway, high up on the pyramid.
So they don't need to be in a circle when this happens? Like, there's no, specific shape and... Okay.
No, not that I could tell. Just everybody has to be chanting, and I'm going to need... and the people that are chanting are giving their essence as well as blood as I'm carving. So if you guys don't want to be a part of it because we've got these people, then you guys can go, ahead or not chant with us, basically.
Keeper Michael.
Yes.
Based on my understanding of what's going on outside, now that I know that there's this whole, as far as the eye can see thing, if I'm standing on the ledge, I'm nowhere near the top of this mountain, right?
No.
You are not.
What is the highest up point I can see that might be accessible for Maeve?
This is it. That you can see at the moment.
Yeah, because it's not just me, it's getting everybody else. Because they have to be there chanting, we have to get their blood, we have to... Yeah.
Okay. Since the ledge is going to be covered, I will go ahead and see what I can find inside. We have a little bit of time before dusk.
Okay.
I'll go with him.
I'll go with Sam.
Never mind.
Awesome. So, no. The three of you sound great. So the three of you head in deeper into this cave, this cavern. Lillian, you're bringing your lantern.
I am.
Maybe even sort of turning the face of that lantern so that way it's not super bright. You're just trying to take a little bit of light in there with you. Past this little portion that you have settled your villagers into, the cave space opens up, almost like into this big butterfly shape. There's a lot of space. There's probably 8 yards wide.
Jesus.
Pretty significant. It does eventually narrow again. And as it begins to narrow as you move forward, you begin to see bodies, blood, guts, pieces. Just not just on the ground, but a mound of them in a state of decomposition.
Anything fresh?
Oh, certainly. Several fresh pieces. And the worst part so far is that the mound continues to grow the more light that you put on it. Like you reveal more portions of it. I would say that the first initial mound that you find is 4 to 5 yards wide and maybe 2 to 3 yards high.
Is there any light in here other than Lillian's light?
No.
Okay. Do I hear anything?
Give me a hard listen roll.
That's a 31 out of 69.
Nice.
That's hard.
You hear some whimpering.
I bet it is.
Shit. I will hold up my hand and kind of wave because I'm assuming I'm walking in front of Lillian, who has the lantern. That would be my assumption.
You hear a little whimpering.
There's something down here. Something alive.
Does it sound like human whimpering or like animal?
Define human whimpering.
Somebody in pain?
Yes, it does.
I rush forward in front of Sam to try to find the person.
I grab her by the back of the pants as she moves by me.
What are you doing?
You rush forward. He grabs you. The lantern light swings a little bit and you get more of this mound into focus. And you both watch as something stirs from beneath this mound and crawls out. It is humanoid, mostly human. It is cut in many, many spots. You realize that it is dragging its upper body. It does not have a lower body to assist. This human has been sawn asunder, and they're dying in front of you.
Oh, can we help them along their way?
In what way would you like to do that, Miss Lane?
I would like to try to take their head off with my curved blade. It's an act of mercy at this point.
I mean, once she whips the weapon out, I totally let her go, just so you know.
Okay. You pull out the curved blade. I won't make you roll to attack. They can't resist you. If they could help you, they would. You swing down and end them. They collapse into a pile of sweaty, bloody flesh.
Yeah, as I swing that, I, whisper, "I'm sorry."
Okay. It's at this point that your lantern illuminates something metallic to your immediate and, to your extreme right.
Yeah, I swing the lantern over there to the right to get a better look.
You swing about 8 yards from your position. You see a iron bar that goes from the floor to maybe 10 feet high. There are several of them in a row. They extend probably 4 yards. And you see that there is a portion of these that are segmented by what looks like a cell door. And it's open.
Is it empty?
You don't know.
No more running.
Robert, what are you doing?
I have a gun out. I have it pointed right at that door. And I'm also frantically trying to scan around the edges of it. I didn't hear anything, so I'm completely worried that there's something in here with us.
Okay. If you continue to look, Miss Lane, are you going to continue in that direction?
Yep, I will put my curved blade back in my boot and follow suit with what at least have my my shotgun forward facing so I can pick it up quickly if I need to.
You push that blade back into your boot with a squelch from all the blood that's on it.
Wonderful.
You move closer to this door and you see the depths at which this cage goes. So the cage is probably 8 yards deep. It's been built back, burrowed into this mountain.
It's like a pen.
It's pretty much what it is. In the corner, the back corner of it, you see a familiar face, although they no longer rise to greet you, as they don't have that ability. The former owner of the Hampton House Hotel, sits bleeding, exsanguinated at the back of the cell, his face having been peeled off his skull. The cell itself is covered in a mixture of blood and scraps of flesh and human waste product. This certainly was a cell at one point, Sam. Although where those who were kept here have gone is a mystery.
You said there's piles and piles of bodies. I feel like it's not really a mystery.
Exhibit A, Exhibit B.
Now, I'm not saying correlation is not causation, but I'm no Sherlock. I'm going to go ahead and deduce that maybe all these bodies came from that box of people.
Maybe.
Or multiple boxes of those people, considering the size of these piles.
I want to walk into the cage.
You don't, really.
I mean, I don't, but I do because of one very simple reason.
Okay.
I want to go over to Reggie. He's bleeding out, but he's still alive, right?
No.
No?
He has exsanguinated.
Damn.
He is not He is not alive in any way, shape, or form. Most people don't live through having their entire face removed.
Well, I was hopeful for a moment.
I'm going to go ahead and close that door.
Yeah, that feels right somehow. Miss Lane, just with your lantern sort of eventually coming back from looking in the cell, you'll notice that there is another large pile. What is essentially human corpses that has been piled up in the center of the room.
Yeah, I take my arm over with the sleeve over my face and kind of try to breathe in my aroma versus the aroma of death that is all around, which I'm probably not smelling too hot at this point.
What kind of aroma you got after a couple days walking around in the mountains?
Sweat is still a better smell.
The human titties have gotten to you, Miss Lane.
She got that Jurassic funk.
Oh, she does. But wait, there's more. That's right. So it is clear to those of you who are here this far that the cavern continues to go back a considerable ways. There are different levels to the cavern. It's not all one flat space. And so some of the runoff from what's been done in these piles has pooled and collected in certain spaces.
So are there okay, so there's a couple questions.
Mm-hmm.
Have we found the opposite wall yet from where we came in?
No.
Okay. Then after closing the cell door, I will continue moving basically in the same direction that I was, just kind of following the right wall, because that's where we were, right? We followed the right wall to the cell.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to follow the right wall a bit more as we continue moving.
Elevation goes up. Elevation continues to go up, probably goes up a couple of yards. And then eventually you get to a point where you could sort of put your hand on the top of one of these rock formations and look over. And given the right light, you would find another pile of corpses and pieces. I guess I need to know from you, Miss Lane, how far you're venturing in, because you are his light.
Yeah, I'm following Sam.
You continue that space then, and then eventually your light is going to reveal that to past that corpse pit that you find, Sam, you find the back end of the cavern wall. And then it moves to your left, back around. And just naturally going with your eyes, you reveal a statue.
Of course.
In that section of the room. A 15-foot high, chiseled black stone statue of a creature that you were not familiar with.
I choose to hate it.
Is that it?
That's all I can really do right now. I look at it and I hate it.
Certainly.
Is the room big enough for us to hold the ceremony in there?
Hell no, we are not going in there. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh yeah, we gotta go past the bodies and stuff. Yeah, we don't want it to scare off
yes.
the volunteers.
So I would just say that this statue, just so that you're all aware and you can get the full breadth and depth
Is it a
of
little
it,
gnarly?
is a humanoid shape in the sense that it has what looks like a couple of legs and it has a couple of arms. It does not have a head per se, except that it has a gaping mouth out of which an enormous, what looks like tendril tongue comes out of. And it is ferocious to behold. If you have Cthulhu Mythos, you can certainly roll it.
Sure. It's a 34 over 13.
Okay.
89 over 8. I ain't got shit.
I mean, giant tongue's kind of give away from me.
70 over 13.
Yeah, it's gross and weird.
Okay, so if our estimations are correct, and I'm saying this quietly, we know that the cultists have to come through here. So where do they go?
So there's no more past this statue?
That you can see readily? No. There is something on the ledge to the left of the statue, just behind it, that seems to gleam a little bit. Brass. There's something reflective up there.
I'll go look.
You trudge up the other side. You have to pick your way through an awful lot of awful. But you find something smashed. You find a marine chronometer. Broke.
Oh, they are so fucking mad.
I report back what I see.
While you're up there, Robert, if you would give me a spot hidden roll, please.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I really want to make this too, don't I?
You do.
Well, I got a 65 under 74.
All you need. Behind this statue, there seem to be quite a lot of suspiciously regular patterns.
Like writing or like formations or?
Well, the rest of the statue is pretty chaotic. But the back of it does seem to have a fairly regular pattern. Like the stonework here isn't chaotic. It sticks out.
I will pick up the chronometer.
It jangles.
I will take it back to the other two. And I'll say, I found this over there, and there's something odd with the stonework behind this thing.
Of course there is.
But I don't know what it is.
All right. I take out my torch. And I will turn it on. And I shine it at Lillian. I'm gonna go like in her face. I'm gonna go over to that statue. If anything happens, go get the others. Okay? Please?
Sure.
Thanks. Before you start blasting. That's all I'm asking. And I will go over to the statue I fucking hate.
Mm-hmm.
I will inspect the stonework behind the statue.
Okay, that's a spot hidden roll.
Of course, I got a 12 out of 94.
Yes. And that is at least a hard success. Congratulations. What you find is in those suspicious patterns, there is something that maybe Robert just needed a better light to see. There's a mechanism here. There's some sort of push plate that's here.
I don't push it.
Okay.
I will turn around and I say, there's a mechanism here that does something. I don't know what it does. I don't want to push it without everyone knowing that I'm going to push it.
Just don't tell the doctor.
Yeah, he'll definitely touch it.
Why don't one of you go back and let them know what's happening?
Are you going to wait for us to come back?
I'm not going to push the damn button. I'm just going to make sure nothing's coming.
I will go back since I have the other light.
Mm-hmm.
So, Robert, can you stay with Sam to make sure he doesn't push it?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
You squish your way through, Lillian, because really there's no way to avoid the awfulness that's there. And you get yourself back into that first tunnel portion, and you can tell that a lot of your villagers are real worried until they see you come out with a lantern, and then they feel a little bit better, like, oh, okay, phew.
Yeah, I just nod at them as I pass by and go straight to Jack.
What'd you guys find?
So many dead bodies. Do not take the villagers in there. But we also found a statue, a really creepy, odd-looking statue with a mechanism that might lead us somewhere. Sam asked that I come back and relay this to you because we are going to
Push the button.
probably pull the lever, touch the button. What I haven't looked at what it is. So,
Well, how about we not do that right now?
If there's a button, it's pretty far from wanting to push it. Hmm?
so do you want me to tell him to come back and that we'll go after the ritual starts?
Which is like, what, in an hour?
Probably less.
Yeah. It's gonna be pretty soon. I'm gonna get everybody like set up and, like where they need to be and stuff. Basically like aligned for whoever's like, for however much blood I need so it can come up to me. Yeah, I'm just gonna start trying to make as much space as I can because this is where it's gonna have to be. And somebody is gonna have to be out here in case something comes out here or comes from out here, because I can't stop the ritual once it starts.
Don't several of us have to be involved in the ritual?
That's what we have them for.
No, I thought for the chanting and stuff, I thought several of us had a chant.
That's what they're for.
Okay, I will go back and get Sam and Robert and bring them back.
While she's gone, I would like to spend a bit more time studying this, try to figure out what it is. Like, whether it's just some random, like, what the mechanism does.
Yeah, it's a mechanical repair roll.
It's funny you mentioned that. Hey! It's a 47 out of 63.
I'd tell you to tick the box, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But that's a success.
So inspection of the push plate seems to reveal that it's likely that the back of this statue pushes in. The statue's 15 feet tall.
Oh, so it's like a panel? Like a door or like a...
It might be.
This has got to be a door. Because there's no other way in, right? We haven't, like, unless it's hidden in one of those piles of bodies.
I believe when we were in one of the pyramids with the Black Pharaoh, either the back of the throne opened. We've been in a cave with a statue that opened before.
Yeah, but this one's not asking me.
Pretty sure.
This one's not asking me to bleed on it.
That's true.
At least not yet.
That's also
They
true.
already did that.
Gross.
That's also
Yeah, wait for Lillian to come back so she can try to convince me to leave.
Yep, she comes back.
Yep, I squelch my way through the dead bodies again. Hey, they're going to start. I stumble over the word sacrifice. Please.
Ritual.
The ritual. And they really need us there. Jack does not want us pushing that mechanism.
Good. Let me tell you what my concern is, Lillian. We don't know whether they've started or how far along they are. So
I know, but we should go together.
we can't leave Maeve.
Well, we should wait until this. We should all go together.
We won't. We can't all go together. Maeve has to perform this ritual for a whole day.
Oh.
A whole day.
Dusk till dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a whole night.
Half a day.
Well, then we wait until they start.
Okay. I lean on the wall,
Okay.
like right above the
So-
mechanism.
Are you going back to the spot, Robert, Sam, Lillian? The rest of them? Or are you waiting for them to come forward to you?
I'll wait for them to come forward to us. I think that's best. Because if anybody shows up out of this thing, I would like to intercept them before they get to the ritual.
Big same. That's where I am. This thing is now my foremost priority.
Well, I mean, either way, we're going to have to split the party. Just think about it. I can't stop the ritual. So if something comes to stop the ritual, I can't stop the ritual. So somebody's going to have to stay with me.
And on that, I would like to know, as dusk arrives, are you starting the ritual?
Yes.
Okay. So if you would,
Mhm.
perhaps you would educate your fellow villagers as to what they need to chant.
It is Sama, Sama, Teo, Sama.
Okay.
And then I instruct them in more of a singing kind of, because
Mhm.
that's how I would do that.
Certainly.
But I can't sing. But Maeve can.
Luckily for you, your guide, Kwame, translates it for them in Swahili
Mm.
so that they understand what their part needs to be because, of course, you do not speak
No,
Swahili.
I don't.
He begins listening first to your chant and then speaking it through with them in Swahili and getting them into a rhythm. And their voices begin to ascend up the side of the mountain. And you can feel all sorts of that first bits of energy begin to get tapped into. And that is where we'll call it for this evening. So thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Masks from Nyarlathotep. We are in our Kenya series finale, and we look very much forward to next time. Thank you, and good night.